How's it going, guys? So second video from my iPhone here. I actually found it pretty damn convenient because I can actually just, directly upload this via YouTube Capture. So if you have a YouTube channel or something like that, I would highly recommend getting the app YouTube Capture. I can just shoot this on my phone and upload it actually really quickly. Of course, I can't edit it, so if I mess up, I'm kind of screwed. And I don't have my intro stuff on there, but not a huge deal for some of my videos. So I'll just kind of use it for this. Hopefully this will be kind of a quick video, but I wanted to do a video like this. If you go back and look at my channel, I'm sure late December, early January of 2013 or 2012, you'll notice that I put up a video talking about my goals, and I set up goals for each kind of 3-month block. That's kind of how I do, just not my training goals, but just kind of my life goals, whether it's reading a certain amount of books or, a school goal or work goal or something not related to that, making my bed every day could be a goal, something little like that. I'm big on setting quarterly goals and also having kind of a big picture. And I realized that this is inverted, and obviously this isn't great lighting as well, so you're not going to be able to see these numbers on here of my goals in 2013 and also 2014, but I'll say them to you. Essentially what I did though on this 2013, maybe you guys will be able to see this, is I had 3 numbers I wanted to hit for each, the bench, squat, and deadlift. You can't see that at all. But essentially the first number that I had were numbers that assuming I didn't get hurt and I just stayed consistent, there's probably no way in hell I wasn't going to hit this. My middle number that I had was if I have a successful year, I should be able to hit this. It's going to take some work, it's going to take some perseverance, but I'm fully capable of hitting this number. And then my third kind of number on there were these are, I need to be on top of my game to hit these numbers. I'm not going to be able to miss workouts. I'm not going to be able to do things like that. And these third numbers are even you could do everything right and you can still not hit these goals. So they're kind of shooting for the stars. You want to think of it like that. So essentially my numbers for bench press were a 250, 265, and 280. I'll put these on the screen as well. I ended up hitting a 250 bench. I hit a 260 bench. But not a 265 bench. I went for a 270, so I might have been able to get a 265. So I only hit my lowest bench press number. I did not get a 265 or a 280, but my bench press did come up quite a bit. I'll kind of talk about my gains I actually did make in the year. Squat, I hit all 3 of my goals and then some. So I hit, my first one was a 350, second one was 385, my third one was 405. I ended up hitting a 415. I never actually failed on a squat either, so I might have had a little bit more in the tank. So definitely a great year for my squat. And then deadlift, same kind of scenario. My minimum goal was a 385, which I just pulled for 5 a couple of last week. 405 and then 425. So I also hit 10 pounds higher than that. I pulled 435 maybe a month or 2 ago. I'm actually maxing out on deadlifts in about 30-45 minutes. Again, so hopefully I can improve on that. Start 2014 off in a good way. So yeah, I met, if you want to say I had 9 powerlifting goals, I met 7 of them, with the big one being bench press. That's kind of how it is. I kind of did the same exact thing for 2014. Actually, when I wanted to talk about, hopefully you guys, you may not be my friend on Facebook. I think I just put this on my personal page. But I did kind of post maybe I can get a screenshot if I can figure it out. Probably not, actually. But I posted some of my progress of 2013, just kind of give people a perspective of how long it takes, not only to gain weight if you're doing it the correct way, but strength gains as well, how it's not just I came from pulling 225 for 5, and then now I'm pulling 500, no big deal, that it takes a lot of time. So I just kind of compared my numbers, because I usually track things pretty consistently on Fitocracy. So it's really cool. You can kind of see your numbers, how they're adjusting throughout time. Really, really easy to give you bar graphs and stuff. So it's really cool. But essentially, by an estimated one rep max, because a lot of these I didn't do true 1 rep maxes. So I'm comparing a 5 rep max of each one of these, or a 3 rep max. But essentially my bench press went up 40 pounds in 2013. My squat went up 105 pounds, and my deadlift went up 125 pounds. Now, definitely going to attribute that a lot to the weight gain that I had as well. I also mentioned that, kind of have a list on my Facebook page of my January weight, my February weight, March weight, kind of see how it adjusted. I ended up gaining an average, or not an average, but roughly 12.7 pounds in the year of 2013. So if you do the math, it's about 1 pound per month, which is kind of what I was shooting for. I said 1 to 2 pounds. And again, it's not always linear. It's not like, 1.5 pounds every month. I had 1 month where I was up 4.6 pounds, and then I was down a third of a pound and up 2 and down a fourth. So understand it's more of the averages of not just days and weeks, but actually months. It's a hard concept for a lot of people to grasp. They want to they see a high or a low weight on the scale and they want to freak out. But it's really what you're doing over a long period of time, because muscle gain and fat loss to even an extent takes a little bit of time. But yeah, kind of give you some perspective on what I gained. 40 pounds in bench, 105 in squat, and 125 in deadlift. I'm probably not expecting the same kind of results this year. Don't get me wrong, I'm definitely shooting for them. But I'm not really sure. I'm probably not going to gain another 10 to 15 pounds this year. I may actually do like a mini cut or something like that, depending on all the variables in my life. But I did set big goals for 2014, really similar to how I did in 2013. I also did some assistance goals in 2013, like I wanted to incline press this much and leg press this much, but I think that's probably a little bit too much. I think sometimes I've noticed this a lot, if you have too many goals, kind of like having none at all. I usually, at least in my personal life, will have one single goal per month. Of course, I'm doing other things, but it could just be something really, really small, like living in the present moment, and that's the only real goal I want to change in November or December, something like that. So with that being said, I do have some 2014 goals. I won't put them up because I'm pretty sure you won't be able to see the pencil. But essentially, kind of like my minimum goals that I think should be able to hit, barring injury or taking time off for any other reason, is a 450 squat, which is only 35 pounds, a 260 bench press, which I'm pretty sure I can hit. Another thing I wanted to note, those bench press numbers from last year were touch and go, and I'm trying to pause these numbers. So I have done a touch and go bench press for 260, but not a pause, which is actually quite a bit different. Probably like at least 10% strength, at least for me. So my minimum bench press paused is 260. My minimum deadlift is 465. So again, that's not going to be incredibly hard to get. Again, those first numbers should be kind of like a confidence booster. Like, okay, I hit my first number, now I can roll on to my main goals for the year. And those medium goals, I guess you want to call them that, are a 475 squat, a 280 bench, and a 505 deadlift. So you're looking at about 60-ish pounds on the squat. It's hard to calculate with the bench press, the transfer there. It's still a pretty good gain, probably 30 to 40 pounds on the bench press there. And what's that, 70 pounds on my deadlift. So again, I would consider that a successful year. If I didn't hit those numbers, I feel like I'd probably had some left in the tank. But again, those are like my big goals, the 475, 280, 505. I'm not even sure what that total would be. And then kind of like my shooting for the star numbers, I set them pretty damn high. Be a 500-pound squat, just because that would be really cool to say you can squat 500. 300-pound bench for kind of the same reason. And 535 deadlift. I think that would also be a great number. So if I hit that, that would be a 1335 total, which would be pretty damn awesome. If I could stay, maybe under 185, 190, that would be pretty damn impressive there. But yeah, those are kind of my goals. Hopefully you guys are setting goals as well. Again, I don't want to over stress. I don't want to make it out to be like if you don't have goals in life or you don't write them down or something like that, you're like a loser or something. But I just felt like it helps me to really post these up here wherever I'm living at. Constant reminder of what I'm trying to do. But again, I've talked about this a lot in my other videos and blogs and whatever else I do. It's important to note that you have these big time goals. I'm trying to squat 500 pounds in 2014, but you can't do that. I'm not going to do that on Monday when I squat. I'm not going to do that the next Monday. All you can really think about during that training session is getting better, whether it's 1 rep, 5 pounds, maybe not even more weight, just like 405 was easier today than it was 2 weeks ago. Little progress, that's what's really important. Set your big goals, but don't stress out about them if you're not hitting them. If you sit there and you PR on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, depending on how advanced you are, you'll probably surpass your goal. It's just like I kind of did this year with my squat and my bench press. There's no way someone would have told me that I was going to deadlift 435 this year. I wouldn't have believed it, even knowing kind of like how hard I worked and discipline with nutrition. But really all I did was go in there and try to 5-pound PR and 1-rep PR, and it took me 125 pounds up. So yeah, that's just kind of what I'm looking for in 2014. I'll probably upload this with my iMovie so I can, put the numbers on there and whatnot. Also, make sure you guys check out my newsletter, something that I probably push a little bit more than my other stuff, just because it's not just my information. It's probably only about 10% of my information. I usually write a couple of articles, like for the newspaper and then for my blog, and I'll post those everywhere anyways. But the newsletter has, just for kind of like some reference, I'll go to it really quick. If you're not familiar with it, definitely check it out. But I'll have my top 5 articles that I've read that I think will be useful to the public. I also have like a YouTube section where I'll pick like the 3 best YouTube videos that I've seen in the month. I'll talk about like a random book that I've been reading that I think can be helpful. Again, not all exercise nutrition information, which I think you should seek out. Not just that information, but have other interests. Also, I have kind of anything else I'm personally doing in there with my training and nutrition, and the kind of changes that I'm making for people that are interested. I usually do about 3 to 5 just studies. I won't go super in depth. I won't analyze them like Ellen Aragon or anyone like that. But I'll at least kind of give you like cliff notes on them and give you like the full text and why they're relevant and stuff like that. For instance, I did one on like biological impedance and why it doesn't really work for body fat. There was a good research study on that. I'll do podcasts as well, so kind of like the best podcast that I think, and also like a resource of the month. So like the Alan Aragon Research Review, or Mobility WOD, or this YouTube channel, or this good book that I've read. So again, if you're looking to kind of get away having to sift through all the crap through the internet, I kind of do that job for you and can compile you at least every month, at least once a month, with just a ton of good information so you can learn more. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Again, best of luck 2014. Check out that Q&A video that I put up too. I've probably gotten about 6 to 10 quality questions throughout the social media kind of thing. So thank you guys for those. I'll probably put that up sometime this weekend. Yeah, that's it guys. Take care. I'll see you next time.